Welcome to Gates of Transformation, a platform for transformational leaders, visionaries, and everyday people standing at the threshold of change.
Welcome again, everyone. The day has finally come for us to finish what we started in the last episode. This episode is dedicated to my favorite demography, the youth. So if you are a youth watching, get your fellow youth, invite everybody in your community, in your neighborhood, in your nation, invite everybody. A very rowdy shout out going out to the new subscribers to the channel, and a smile of gratitude for our existing subscribers who have been relentless in your support. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. We are just scratching the surface of the series, The Pathway to a Transformed Africa. And today's episode is a continuation of Behind the Veil of Youth Startups. If you missed any of the past segments or live broadcasts in this channel, don't fret. I want you to just visit the channel and catch up. For our new subscribers, I want to quickly share that the Gates of Transformation channel is designed to bring relevant content to equip you with tools to transform your nation, your community, and your society. And if this speaks to you, then welcome on board. Remember that this is the last episode intended to lift the veil of youth startups, so we can take a good look at the struggles, the facades, and the gaps that exist in the ecosystem. The last episode exposed 5 systematic errors that serve as barriers to growth and progress: obscurity, ambiguity, boom, unoriginality, and capital deficit. And today, we will explore another set of 5 systematic errors that needs to be corrected. Number 1 is sustainability deficit. This is where the funding program or business venture is not founded on vision, but on an idea. It almost appears that the business is running on a half tank. Thus, it disappears from the scene once the project ends. Error number 2, contextual disconnect. It is the lack of understanding or detachment from the context of the problem that the business proposes to solve. It almost becomes very evident that there is no market research or connection to the problem. It's like people are just creating ideas in the air. Number 3 is what I call the uninitiated. This addresses the lack of training, the lack of experience, the lack of operations, of networking, and relationship management skills. Some of the beneficiaries of such programs, the youth, are deficient in expertise and mastery of the industries that they are trying to penetrate. They started businesses, they are working in industries they have no clue about. That cannot yield success. Number 4, branding. Within days of launching the business, the startup is already branded as a leading company, or the proprietor, the business owner, using overrated titles like expert, guru, pioneer, brand ambassador, creative director, executive director, and president. I like it when the titles are 2 in 1, executive director and president, but you are the only one in the business. Architect, curator, principal officer, chief visionary. Hello, a visionary is just a visionary, and the list goes on. And you know what the systematic problem is in these titles and the branding error? Is that these are generally titles that seasoned professionals and entrepreneurs acquire based on proven track record and impact. They can call themselves visionaries, chief visionary. They can call themselves architect or pioneer, because they have a proven track record that they pioneered. So when a young person is just starting and they're using these titles, they are branding themselves this way, it's a systematic error and it needs to be corrected. Number 5 is what I call the accelerated status, which is the business qualifies for funding or eligible for pitching competition within a very short time of social media or website launch. When I look at this trend, I came to a conclusion that no wonder when the funds run out, social media posts, which were featuring training programs, speaking engagements, funding awards, international fellowship program participation, and media features, those same very social media pages, they turn into announcing graduations, announcing weddings, and the arrival of new babies. Because this person never took the time to be seasoned in the business, to be seasoned in the startup. They just got up, accelerated status. Within 6 months of being out there, 1 year, they're already high up in the air, traveling everywhere, pictures everywhere, posting everywhere. And then when the funding runs out, they go silent, they disappear from the scene. The social media is repurposed to feature other things that are happening in their lives. I don't know about how you're feeling on your end, but on this end, it is really feeling very warm. So I can just imagine some of you are preparing to challenge me in the comment section. But bring it on. It's not supposed to be a fight. It can be a discussion. We can educate each other. If you believe that these are not happening in the continent, then you can share with me what you see, and I can also learn from you. But this is what I've discovered, what I've uncovered, not only by visiting nations and interacting with organizations or programs, but being one that is interacting directly with young people in different nations of the continent of Africa. I sit at the front row when it comes to young people and the development programs. So bring on the comments, bring on your perspectives. I would love to read them. I would love to learn from them. But I want to encourage you that before you type that comment, I agree with you in advance that there are several successful youth startups and businesses in your nation and across the continent. I know about them. I equally agree that the funding schemes and programs are impacting communities. They are transforming societies and nations in a very remarkable way. I am not disputing all of that. In fact, I am with you all the way, if that makes you feel good. However, I'm not only talking about your nation, your organization, or your startup business. I am looking at the African continent, the entire youth entrepreneurial landscape as a whole. And the bitter pill is this: a very significant percentage of youth entrepreneurship ventures and startups do not survive past 2 or 3 years due to these foundational errors that I am addressing. So instead of us turning it into a debate, we should actually learn from it. Look around you. People who were in the past 2 or 3 years running all over the place, running their businesses, right now, most of them are silent because there are foundational errors. Those startups were started on a foundational error. Whether it was that a program was overrated and there was deception in how the program was featured and what the program promised to offer, or there is a deception with the young person coming into the program and all the foundational errors that happen. I know that this may sound very heavy, but because I am the bearer of good news and because I am a visionary leader, I want to bring you good tidings. The good news is the errors can be corrected and the damages can be repaired. It is not too late, but I learned that nothing gets healed unless it is acknowledged, it is accepted, and a treatment plan is created. That's why I'm talking about it. I want us to get to that place where we acknowledge, we accept, and we create a plan to fix it. That is the way forward. If we are just willing to humble ourselves, learn from our mistakes, and commit to change, we will reap positive results. It's possible because Africa is a thriving continent. Trust me though, exposing the errors means that I have solutions to proffer. This is a gift to the continent. 7 keys to yielding impact with youth startup programs. If these 7 keys are applied, we begin to yield better results in the startup incubator ecosystem. Key number 1 is create and establish projects, programs, startups, and businesses that are relevant to the society, not only those that attract funding. That's where it begins. How are our programs created? People just call a friend because they are aware that funding is available somewhere, and together they craft a program. They write a proposal just to tap into those funds. But sometimes these programs are not well thought out, because the driving force of the program is not for transformation or development, it is to attract funding. So we must begin to create and establish programs and projects and start up businesses that are relevant to the society. Just because it's working in Rwanda doesn't mean it will work in Kenya. It needs to be relevant. Number 2, nations need to accept and approve programs that have the possibility of surviving and transforming communities even in the absence of funding. Whatever programs we design must be designed to last for a lifetime, not just for the duration of funding. Number 3, the leaders that are at the gates managing, negotiating, and approving the programs must seek to design local programs to solve local problems. We need to get rid of imported solutions and all these frameworks that we bring from everywhere. Sometimes they will not fit in. They will not work. It's like fitting a square peg in a round hole. It will not fit perfectly. Key number 4, the civil society organizations must be mandated to create a formative assessment process to ensure trainees are entrepreneurship fit and entrepreneurship ready. And this cannot be an imported assessment. It has to be a locally well-designed and crafted formative assessment process to ensure that everybody that is adopted into the program is entrepreneurship ready and fit. Because yes, young people are vibrant, but not every young person is an entrepreneur. Key number 5, we want to set realistic expectations from the very get-go and teach young people and young entrepreneurs that building anything meaningful requires time. It requires hard work. It requires dedication. And we tell them it will come with rejection. It will come with anxiety. It will come with pain. We need to stop giving examples of success and not give examples of challenges, because success and challenges travel together. So we need to be very honest from the very get-go to tell them this will take time to build. This requires hard work. This requires resilience. This requires dedication. Number 6, startups must be founded on vision and executed with sincerity. We cannot realize real success until we move away from the social media perceived success and the trending hashtags to doing some real work. Real work is needed in the continent. Key number 7, we need to promote young people being engaged with their communities so they can understand the real problems in their environment before venturing into entrepreneurship. It is a real disaster to start a business which is meant to solve a problem that you don't understand. So we need to send them back to their community. Let them study the problem, understand it very well. And in addition to the 7 keys, we also generally need to just stop encouraging young people to start businesses or ventures based on funding. Any entity that is solely depending on charitable funding will eventually die. So we need to stop encouraging young people to join a program, to come, sign up for this, sign up for that, based on funding. Nobody should set up a whole organization based on funding. Because when the funding disappears, the organization, the entity, the business will die a permanent death. We must also keep in mind that some of these young people are very zealous, yet they are very inexperienced. So the training they receive needs to be heavily invested in coaching to help them lay a solid foundation. They need to be taught to invest their own money, their own time, their own skills, their own emotions in the ventures that they want to execute or scale up. You have to invest and apply yourself to build your dream, because this dream that you have cannot be fully realized with total dependence on third-party resources, because this is a 100-year dream. It's a 50-year dream. It's a 75-year dream. And this dream cannot be realized on funding for the next 100 years, for the next 75, 50 years. It will actually need your own resources. So learn to develop a savings plan, develop discipline in how you manage resources. This was some food for thought, I believe, and I hope that it will be received with humility, because this is the pathway to a transformed Africa. Well, I had a great time, and I hope you did too. As always, I want to invite you to engage with me in the comment section and also visit our website to take advantage of our resources, the books, and the other services that are offered. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next episode.